Hi everyone, Haley Greco here, and today I'll be showing you the process for this Misty Forest landscape painting. Let's get started. Let's take our hearts for a walk in the woods and listen for the magic whispers of old trees. I'm beginning here with a canvas that I've painted white, and I'm adding a light green over various parts of it. These will become our background trees covered with mist. Adding that thin layer of white on the canvas before I began will help when I'm blending the mist up into the trees. I'm not overthinking placement here, just kind of going where my heart leads me, adding in those lines of trees on the mountainside. This painting is inspired by the Pacific Northwest. I love how tall the trees grow out there, and how the mist will just kind of coast up the mountainside, and it really looks like a dream world. My brush strokes are soft here as I blend this green into the white. I'm just laying the foundation for those trees, and then I'll go back and add details in later on. It's important when you're doing this stage to not make the trees too evenly spaced out. It needs to be random for it to look natural. I love using these big brushes to blend, and you don't need much pressure at all, it's just a very light motion. This painting is such a peaceful experience to create. The process seems to just cleanse my mind of all my worries, and I can kind of just melt into it. Adding in some more green now, and then blending that white in. A good thing about this painting as well is I'm only using two colors really. The light green is a blend of Pthalo Blue and yellow, and the darker blue is the same, it's just got a little more blue in it and some black as well. And that light green has a lot of white mixed in, and that white will give it the misty effect. I'd like to take this moment to say thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And sharing this video really helps as well. Right now I'm uploading videos every Saturday, and some shorts throughout the week as well. I love sharing my process with you guys, and I really appreciate all the support. So I've added some bigger trees towards the bottom left-hand corner of the painting. And of course, the trees are getting larger as we're going down the mountainside. Larger and darker as well as we get to the foreground of the painting. I love painting with this teal color. It feels so peaceful to work with. Now I'm starting to add some details in the background. And I'm just making sure that each line of trees is blended into the white. You can really add a lot of trees at this point, and the ones in the distance can be really vague, as though the mist is obscuring them. I'll sometimes use my fingers to blend, and if you're doing this, just make sure you're using non-toxic paint. And at times I'll also use a paper towel to blend. Each of these tools works for me, I just go with which one feels right in the moment. I'm now starting to get the details on the foreground trees. These trees can be as tall or short as you want. There's a lot of freedom when it comes to painting a forest. It's your world, and just make it how you want it. There's a quote by John Muir that goes, "Come to the woods, for here is rest. There is no repose like that of the green deep woods." I definitely feel that rest when I'm in the forest. Especially a misty forest like this one. There's so much peace here. Even though this footage is sped up a little bit, I'm taking my time with each tree I'm adding. So if you're joining me in this painting, just remember there's no rush. I love the faded look that I'm adding here as I blend with my fingers. And sometimes I want to leave it a little more vague. I like to make the darkest parts the most defined. I'm reminded of another quote by Lord Byron. It goes, "There is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is a rapture on the lonely shore. There is society where none intrudes, by the deep sea, and music in its roar. I love not man the less, but nature more. I've decided to make this tree really tall. I'm just adding in those details, and I'm making some parts lighter and some parts darker on the tree, and this will add a sense of shading and depth. I would love to be in a forest like this one today, just wandering in the misty trees. Whenever I walk in the woods, I feel deeply connected to nature, and it always puts things into perspective and makes my problems seem minuscule. Here I've decided to put two really tall trees right next to each other. As Bob Ross says, every tree needs a friend. And our forest is really coming together now. Detail work is some of my favorite with painting, and I think that's why I love painting trees so much. With trees, it's all about the tiny details. I thought this spot in the left corner really needed a tall tree. With these foreground trees, I'm adding a lot of texture in them, and in person I feel it really makes it come to life. It's also really satisfying to paint with a lot of texture. And this painting is just about finished. I want to thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. It's always an adventure finding something new we can create together, and I hope you join me again soon.